Growing up, I played lots of sports. Volleyball, basketball, softball, running and track and field. That's all I knew, honestly. I would go watch my sister's volleyball games after school, or I would go to the track to run races and then quickly hop in the car to carpool to softball games right after. All I knew was sports, whether that meant watching them or playing them. I never really had a favorite because I disliked parts of them and I liked parts of each of the sports individually, so I kind of just kept playing them all and liked them pretty equally until I reached grade 9. Grade 9 is where I kind of realized that basketball was starting to become one of my favorites, and that I was kind of starting to lean towards going specifically to focus on playing basketball. So we were playing in Eastern Valleys, and they were do or die games, so pretty important games, and there was a lot riding on that. So we were in the third quarter of one of these games against a team that we had played a decent amount. I was running down the court, we were on offense, and I stopped and turned my body the opposite direction to catch the ball from my teammate. On the stop though, my knee went the opposite direction that the rest of my body did. So my knee went this way while my body went this way. All I could feel was this shock and jolt across my whole body. I had no idea what had just happened, and I was so confused about the pain that I was feeling because I had never felt it before. Though this didn't affect me right away because I took the shot and I made the shot. But I tried to hobble back on defense, realizing that something severe had just happened and I don't know what I'm supposed to do. My coach could see that something was up, so he was yelling at me to sit on the floor so that we could get the ref's attention to stop the clock and that I would be able to go sit on the bench. But I was stubborn, and when I am stubborn and frustrated, I just keep playing, and I tend to play better than I usually do, ironically. But we ended up getting the ball back, so I went and I drove to the hoop, and I weaved around 2 players, got fouled during that process, so I went to shoot my 2 free throw shots, and that was the moment when I realized that something bad really did happen. The adrenaline of the game had kept me going to that point, but this was the first moment that I was able to catch my breath and truly take in what had just happened. I realized I couldn't put any weight on my right knee, so I shot my 2 free throw shots with some weird form, made them, and then slowly made my way to the bench, and then the tears started to flow. I still didn't understand truly what had happened, and it was difficult to describe the kind of pain until we went to my physiotherapist a couple days later, and he told me that I had sprained a little part in my knee and that I should be good to go in 6 weeks. Well, 6 weeks turned to 8, 8 to 10, and 10 to 12. The weeks kept coming and going with little to no improvement. He tried to give me exercises that would help increase my range of motion, and little by little it did, but I truly couldn't understand why this was happening, and I just felt so frustrated and angry because everything I had known had just been taken away from me in a second. I watched my team finish up their season and felt very disconnected. I sat on the bench forcing a smile upon my face, and some say fake it till you make it. Well, I had no other option. About a year later, we actually found out that my knee had a tear in it the whole time. This makes sense because of the amount of pain I was still experiencing after they said initially it would only take 6 weeks to recover. So I asked the question, can I play basketball? And they said, if that's a risk you're willing to take, go ahead. But they said that if you tear your knee again in that same spot, then you will likely not be able to play any sport. I wasn't willing to take that risk. So what I had loved so much had just been taken away from me and never given back. But all those physiotherapy visits have had to teach me something, and they sure did. I realized that the physiotherapy atmosphere was a place that I really truly loved. Though I didn't love being in the position of an injured athlete trying to get back into sports, I realized that I want to work in that area and that I can help empathize with athletes who experience similar struggles that I have. I want to help them be able to return to sport And though I didn't get to return to the sport of choice that I had hoped, I did get to return to sport, and I'm so thankful for that. So I never imagined that in grade 12 I wouldn't be playing basketball, but I also didn't imagine that a split-second wrong movement would show me what career path I was being led to.